Hello, my name is Anthony Wall. I I agreed to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now we have Congress involved with sequence racketeering and with them lying about the substance of them when they pretend to be about honesty, when they pretend to be about an oath, because they are involved with uses of each of the identity of the ground locations. All the identities contained by those identities used that way for racketeering with other nations, like all these nations are victims, but victim predators, like America. Now, the north end of Hartford is on the other side of highway entrances, like parking lots, and of a building of Fox Connecticut News. Fox Connecticut News, WFSB is in Rocky Hill. Now that's in Hartford, Connecticut. WFSB has on off their locations, the buildings next to them. On off Fox Connecticut News and the buildings next to them are involved with racketeering, with worse than racketeering, worse than war crimes, with agencies and with judges and with prosecutors, our own and foreign. These are also people involved with racketeering with community center like associated with Ukraine. UPS sought me out to confess and demonstrate and record their involvements with racketeering with the schools I went to. And through through their roles with UPS. I mean, through their roles with Trinity College, CCSU, Weathersfield High School, Weathersfield Middle School, and child campuses further involved then and now with principal sex offenders proven and further recorded roles with that, tied to them having to hide live progressions, tied to their racketeering acts and uses of databases, uses of news racketeering acts. News is also recorded spreading rumors and stealing people to fake words and locations with the courts and with the police forms that are forging names, switching names, making mistakes on cases on purpose, falsifying evidences into databases in conjunction with their racketeering with their mouths verbally every day in courts. Now they also stack names of people I never had conversations with, all exceptions criminally exploited. There are a whole bunch of men and women associated with a Christine Bedard and a Christine Tardet and other people with the name Christine, associated with men and women involved crimes with child sex offenders, including further then and now with a principal sex offenders campus. And these are prosecutors with the kids involved with racketeering of such sick natures through time, and with that principal sex offenders campus. Now they have been using New Britain Superior Court and other courts to hide this. Those same courts were involved with racketeering with other nations like Russia, like people associated with UPS, like Russians and like Ukraine, directly and indirectly, involved with their uses of that for racketeering. Since before I went to work there, they want to debate debatable. They want to debate things out of sequence. They want to keep using time to wait, always too fast, too slow to get over on forever nature's course. America's. They want to keep using the identity of Barack Obama, the identity of Donald Trump, the identity of all whoever becomes into office. Mr. Biden, Mr. Pence, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated, forced to entertain roles with uh, uh, military police, military families involved with evidence racketeering, identity thefts. They're used to spread lies through girls tied to the role as their roles with human trafficking. Now that's what the courts are involved with human trafficking, not just child sexual and medical and judicial abuses. Cops involved with it with their family. My town's police chief, his daughter, his foreign and domestic extended family members involved with a whole bunch of racketeering uses of the identity of the ground locations, including campuses. Now these are people with wire crimes where they're lying about what it's actually recorded over the phone. They're lying about what is also actually recorded over the email. They're lying about what is actually recorded in databases on and off all locations, private, intercampuses, interbranch databases involved with racketeering. Same people going up there pretending passions and emotions. They're pretending to be about America. The only time they could speak. That's why they love to. So forget about it. We have no representation originally and still. They're preventing mandated law. They forge names and switch names. There are readings of the statutes that are criminal because this is recorded true from outside of courts. So they have to keep using the inside of courts, the inside of police stations, to keep hiding what from off them, kept them more and more and more, keeps them criminally foreign influence, needed to hide finite, active, progressive lies, sequence shifts, identity thefts, frauds, racketeering. That's the substance of Connecticut's interbranch leadership from Connecticut interbranch. On and off the state judicial branch offices, and recorded and confessed and demonstrated involved with them with dozens of people with names like a Fianza family, involved crimes with dozens of judges. All of them originally and still sick beasts. Campus Marcius rises in these. It's nothing personal. That's recorded. Now, see, they're forcing the wrong outcomes in courts originally and still. They're going to pretend to be against extortion. Look what they have upon the north end of Hartford with Fox Connecticut News. How many natures of extortion, how many natures of racketeering are involved with them in the buildings next to them? They know it. They have the private security of their building. They have a whole bunch of officers in a white family, also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with identity thefts, falsified police reports, racketeering with a Spada family, and a whole bunch of judges that a whole bunch of sisters had and a brother and their parents involved with the racketeering with a whole bunch of brothers in Demoro and Demoro too, but in a Della Fera family. These are judges of various natures of courts, racketeering, especially distinctly and non-distinctly, all these courts. The Connecticut District Court recorded, involved, and confessed with them with a whole bunch of people who were racketeering with other courts, leading up to and in the Trade Center attack, leading up to and in their roles with a 2006 case with defendant, former director of FBI, and his co-defendants who are involved with racketeering acts with my uses of houses in my area, also involved with mail crime, wire crime, falsified police reports, forging names, switching names, uses of confessions, then prevent, now these are people also again with crimes with the principal sex offenders campus with male and female prosecutors who had their kids then and now further involved with them with juxtaposed natures of racketeering. So these are also criminal readings of the statutes, pretending people don't know. Oh, what law did we break? You forged names, switched names, sequence shifting, attaching me and others to fake words. These are people putting fake records into databases. Since before the Trade Center attack, they've been preventing me from working. Since before the Trade Center attack, they've been preventing me response from. You have to go out and ask other people for help. Where we have judges and courts involved with cops forging names, switching names, affecting confessions from strangers that they're pretending is legitimate evidence reception because they're stacking evidence racketeering acts with location uses of locations. That's what keeps them criminally foreign. They have to hide that. Now we have Facebook pages, interbranch, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with them with racketeering, with extortion, with identity thefts, with evidence racketeering. The Facebook page of New Britain Superior Court is recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with a whole bunch of people tied to former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, with racketeering with them. Now, these are racketeering uses of Mueller and Coleman. These are racketeering uses of Mr. Schiff and his roles with them with sequence shifts, his roles with them with evidence racketeering, his roles with them with the extortion of all locations, areas, and states, his roles with them with gun crimes, his roles with them with drug crimes, pretending to be against such simultaneously. We also have all kinds of military racketeering on and off Two Rod Highway as the people further involved, where it runs into the Hangdog Lane too. As people further involved with the courts, Weathersfield Pizza, Maria Fazzino confessed and recorded. Her family of Stephen Stocko also recorded and confessed and demonstrated by other people tied to them, involved with drug crimes and wire crimes and mail crimes and crimes with identity theft, forging names, sequence shifts, crimes with overt criminal enterprises on and off her neighbor's house, her brother's houses, interstates. Dean, do you work for them? I have a degree in English. I'm an expert on the nature of English, on correlation nature, which is a trinity: inherent true, active true, and progressive true at the same time, sequence true at the same time. See, but I don't have to be a lawyer to report. See, we have recorded, confessed. I watched in a 2006 case. The news didn't report, not by accident. They worse than hid this with racketeering acts in collusion with it. Former director of the FBI in his defendant capacities, Robert Luskin, his lawyer, Robert Chevrolet, a whole bunch of federal criminal co-defendants of theirs and ones tied to them are further as the ones further involved with the racketeering on and off Fox Connecticut News. The clubs downtown Hartford, the buildings right next to Fox Connecticut News too. They have the acting places, recorded, confessed, and demonstrate, because they have also the departments at the campuses, the identity sciences, criminally foreign influence. I just wanted to make sure I can trust you. Yes, you can trust me. I give you my word. This is under oath. I'm not lying to Congress. Congress is lying to us. This is through administrations. They know that America is extorted. They know that all these other nations are extorted. They know that if we follow proper channels, it stays the same. They know that the Obama administration military, just like the military now, is forced to entertain this because they're not following the law. They're wire crime methods. They have a whole bunch of military police that forge names, switch names, racketeering with the Eastern States Narcotics Drug Task Force, with child sex offenders, and with drug clicks interbranch, not by accident. Interbranch and foreign mixed. We have a whole bunch of prosecutors, their kids. That's a lot of names to be used. Fake conversations with me. We need to get them onto paper. Yes, they extort the whole world for their benefit and go over the people's head and ignore their will. Exactly. We have to have mandated law followed. They are not following mandated law, the ones pretending to be following it. That's why we have to report their sequence shifts. They'll do anything, say anything, rather than follow mandated law and fix their sequence shifts. They invested them needing those evidence racketeering acts. So it's not an accident. It's worse than ironic that Schiff has this name Schiff. That sounds like shift. Because the shifts reveal that Schiff needs to get out of Congress. The shifts reveal that all of them need to get out of Congress. We need federal stewardships of Congress. We need federal stewardships of each branch of government in Connecticut. They need to stop making allegations against people too when they talk about the sequence shifts. If you bring up the sequence shifts and all that, they pretend people are making conspiracy theories. They do this with Russians too. No, they have psychology, mental diagnosis. They're forging names and switching names with families involved with proven child sex offenders to hide this. We have male and female prosecutors, foreign and domestic, involved with them with racketeering, with all kinds of medical racketeering and databases, exploiting anomaly because no one's watching, no one's allowed to look at databases. No one's allowed to look at other people's medical information. So they're just making it up. There's a Leahy family involved with a Brian Silver prosecutors, with a whole bunch of prosecutors retired and standing, a whole bunch of judges retired and standing, involved with racketeering acts with them. I never had a conversation with my life. They're pretending other. Now get them onto one name and sequence in response to me, because they're lying about what it's actually recorded of the phones. They have state police, Weathersfield police, stacking names with them, with my new and past neighbors. I don't even know their names. So we have a problem. We have a problem with these punks. And then they lie about other people's behavior. They lie about other people's. These are delusions raw when they speak. When they assume that the president did such because he wants for election reasons. They leave out how Biden administration, nothing but against you personal because you don't respond. Mr. Biden, respond for them. They're right through your administration since before you guys came into office. Your military was involved. Racketeering acts. Further with a judge, whole bunch of people tied to Justin Klavinskis and to his family and to his neighbors. Further with on-off schools, on-off religious spots. A Kerr family. Also, an officer, Jerry Miller, further recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with them. Also, was self-recorded and confessed, demonstrated involved with racketeering with overt criminal enterprises with area through time. Same people involved with them with wire crimes, with the overt with the stewards of the witness protection program, involved with racketeering acts with juxtaposed natures of criminal enterprises in that one. With the same, in conjunction with and as their roles, what they used to force and to hide their roles with the principal sex offender. We have little fakes that can't pretend others, so they have to have abuses of each age of fact treatment nature to hide their life progressions. When the more I speak, the more they have to hurt more strange people, strangers to themselves, because they have to hide more and more finite active lies, progressive lies, sequence shifts. How is your boxing training going? I'm not boxing because of this. I can't. They're not letting me report stuff since before the World Trade Center attack. They have Connecticut boxing gyms recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering with judges and with prosecutors and with a whole bunch of people tied to the House/S in my area with the extended family members, further with the Britain Superior Court and with Middletown, with child sex offenders, with their extended family members, further with child sex offenders, like a Phil Cololo. I never had a conversation with. He tried to pretend to other one time. I noted that. They try to exploit exceptions. Oh, they try to pretend, oh, that's not true. See, we have a picture of you from that year. They're out of their minds. I never had anything to do with these people. These are people involved with racketeering with databases in each of the schools I went to. That's what's actually recorded. So we have election crimes for the people pretending to be against it, not by accident. The sequence shift will reveal this. They're preventing sequence shifts from being told on. They're extorting people. This is worse than quid pro quo by the people pretending to be against it. They're also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with elections locations like the Weathersfield town offices. There's churches in town they have elections at that are also involved with them with the racketeering further and on off the schools, on off the parks. So we also have a Kerr family and a Walters family recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with an Inspector Mike and with Jerry Kurz and a Jerry Miller with on-off fire departments involved with racketeering with them, with my new and past neighbors. Also, which is in conjunction with recorded ties to the witness protection program and the witness protection program's stewards. Also in collusion with racketeering acts with overt criminal enterprises on my street. Uses of them as roles with the principal sex offenders campus, proven off campus. They first forced it with their racketeering acts not to be told on. As people associated now, pretending to be about the truth. They're worse than extorting the presidents. And the presidents are Oz. because they have state scenarios. Every person who works for them is criminally foreign influence, delusions raw. Now respond for them. Respond for the people who work for Trump. Respond for the people who work for Obama. No! I'll show you how to deal with color, with the physical delusions into branch regarding it, originally instilled, with the racketeering uses of the north end of Hartford, right? Or where they have that tower building. Fox, Connecticut News, you're out of your minds with the dozens of people you got with that building involved with racketeering against me and against that area specifically. You have all kinds of medical racketeering, database racketeering with families and houses and people associated with them with the buildings next to Fox Connecticut News. And right around the corner from it, those clubs. There are people associated with the Club Blue. And they change the name of it all the time. Then they have the Russian lady, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated, involved with the Rixion Faglione, with prosecutors and with the Leahy family, with judges involved with them, with racketeering, also with doctors, with child sex offenders, with drug crimes through time, identity thefts, sequence shifts. Also racketeering with a Mayano family, also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated racketeering with male and female prosecutors with them. Fourth, falsified police sports roles with them. Roles with human trafficking with a house in my area tied to them. Let's get them onto paper. Let's get the mandated law followed. Let's get them from the fake passions and emotions. No, you'll hear their course. You let positive evidence free speech. No, you let evidence free sequence true. No. Now, I'm not going to ask you guys again. I keep asking, what do I fucking do? You fucking respond here, motherfucker. Don't fucking pretend you're worried about my language, too. You sick motherfuckers. So, my boxing training is non-existent. The World Trade Center attack crimes and our judges' roles with it, interstates. These are also people recorded, confessed, demonstrated with these racketeering acts and roles and actually recorded natures as roles with approved post-dated documents from inside the Ninth Circuit Court, right next to the World Trade Center note, right before the World Trade Center attack. Post-dated from inside, papers that have been hand-delivered, later proven, have been posted, have been time stamped, delivered on time. They have been late. Someone from inside the court post-dated them to appear late when the day of the court, the part of the trial came up. So a panel of judges were shown post-dated to appear late from inside the court. Papers that had already been time-stamped from inside the court on time. So what do they do? Then they ruled that was filed late, but that was proven after that they filed late. So that led up to a 2006 district court case now in Connecticut with former director of the FBI, with his co-defendants that had daughters in school with me. We had other kids involved with the drug cliques that are now involved with the untimely deaths. That brought up also the principal sex offender and other child sex offenders and other natures of sexual abuses of kids, even where they like it, where they have like sexual circles with DMV and Department of Transportation, Department of Motor Vehicles, associated with Eric Jensen, associated with a Perone family, their whole family, their whole sexual circles, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering then and now, as people further involved with houses on off 2 Route Highway, on off Hangdog Lane, involved all along the Burlington Turnpike, involved racketeering with the Dillon family, with his former partner, per him, to my speech class. I never had a personal conversation with him. Lived down the street, recorded, confessed, demonstrating when the houses next to them, foreign and domestic, involved with them with racketeering. These are how we have shared policing of stores. We have shared policing of shipping places. like UPS, like Coca-Cola, like the post office, all recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with people with racketeering all along Griswold Street to victim predators. Use my name. Respond for your leaders. Otherwise, we're going to use your names. I'm going to seek out your names. You're going to have to give me a response because we have interbranch refusing to follow mandated laws since before the World Trade Center attack. These are also racketeering uses of Saudis with their falsified police reports with the investigators of the World Trade Center attack, as the ones with the racketeering uses of Saudis leading up to it and in the attack context. They also have been lying about this with the newspapers and with the national media and with Connecticut media, Fox Connecticut News, WFSB, and WTNH are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with multiple natures of racketeering acts and of sequence shifts. Multiple! So we have to have a response for them because their wire crime methods and mail crime methods, again, with the courts and with the police forms, worse than indifferent to it. Now we have two Mendez police also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with themselves and with women, forging names, faking conversations with me, on off the Wethersfield Police Department, on off New Britain Superior Court, on off campuses in town. Their crimes further with principal sex offenders campus. Their crimes further with sexual offenders of kids, even medical, male and female, not by accident. These sick people needed to hide lies because they were rolled with various natures of courts and their families criminally each day. They've been using their locations to hide their lie progressions. So we're going to learn rakcetereing. We're going to learn the science of sharing identity. And fake branches fail, so fall. I'll build the wall. So we're going to find the seed. So their uses of Ukraine here are also with Ukraine, with all that tied to the UPS. It's on off their locations though. It's not just the UPS, the identity of it, the identity of the company of UPS. That's involved with the extortion that has even the president is extorted. That's involved with the extortion. So that has all fake people pretending, blaming on other causes, things themselves, as the ones pretending they're about reality. So we have recorded, confessed, and demonstrated their racketeering with other nations and against them at the same time. It's how they're using the identities of the ground locations. All rules with that keeps using the overall identity. Same thing. Yeah. So respond for the fake news. Attach me and my family and others to fake locations, fake sequences, fake words, fake relationships to others. Whenever they tell the truth, they have lies attached to it. Note that. We're gonna get me the names of my new and past neighbors. So the police and the courts recorded, confessed, and demonstrated they have them involved. I didn't see it in writing, but I don't know their names in writing. They were also recorded. It's also recorded before that, anyways. Recorded, confessed, and demonstrated they're involved with the Dillon family. With a whole bunch of people other too. Recorded, confessed, and demonstrated this Dillon family involved with crimes with kids in my area, with overt criminal enterprises and other retired and standing Wethersfield police and the Wethersfield police chief, his extended family members, racketeering with the same houses involved with the people on the sex offender registry with other natures of racketeering they had then and now with them. Now respond for them. Respond for them now. Oh, bow and fall. The wall.